It took our entire family to run our restaurant in small-town Alberta. Everyone chipped in during the rodeo weekend. I was 12 years old. I heard shouting in the dining area. My dad was trying to evict 2 intoxicated people from the restaurant. It got heated, and both turned on my dad. A few minutes later, a Mountie came charging in and grabbed both drunks and pulled them off of my dad. That day, I knew I would become a Mountie. 8 years later, I fulfilled that dream, and over the next 15 years, my career was going well. I was posted at several different postings and gained experience in uniform police work and plainclothes duties, until eventually I was promoted to a supervisor position. At work, I was rising through the ranks, but at home, everything was falling apart. One night, my wife came home and advised me she had found someone else and I had to leave the residence. I was devastated. What was going to happen with my 2 young boys? How could I cope with the intensity of my work and with all those other life challenges? I was in a dark place, but tried not to show it. I didn't talk to anyone about my marital problems until one day I received a call from a previous supervisor and mentor. I looked up to him, and he was the cop's cop. He was an ERT commander, a homicide investigator, and highly thought of by members of the force. "Jim, I think you need to see my psychologist." "What? You see a psychologist?" "Cops didn't do that." After a few sessions with the psychologist, I realized I was suffering from more than a marriage breakdown. I was suffering from stress related to my work and trauma from the terrible events I had witnessed 2 years earlier. I had responded to the death of 2 children in a house fire, and as a father of 2 young children, that haunted me more than most of the calls I'd been on. And just a few months before seeing the psychologist, I lost 2 young neighbors to suicide. Somehow I felt I could have done something that might have prevented these tragic events in my own backyard. I didn't have the ability to process all the events myself. I needed help, and I was glad my mentor had shown me the way. One evening, after a year of counseling, I looked up from my desk as a victim services advocate was on her way out the door. There were tears streaming down her face. I called her back and spoke with her. This was the 4th death she was dealing with in the last week. I knew she needed the same help I did, and in that moment I decided I would learn how I could help members, support staff, VSU advocates, guards and matrons to get assistance when they needed it. I volunteered for the Member Employee Assistance Program, and after I retired from the RCMP 13 years ago, I still receive calls from serving members. The RCMP is a job, but I think it is also a family, and we need to look after each other.